Hey, it's Randy at Funeral Funds of America. In this video, I'm going to show you the actual cost for $5,000 worth of burial, cremation, final expense, life insurance, or funeral funds for a 66-year-old female. Now, first thing you need to understand is you can go directly to our website, and on just about every page on our website, we've got this free quoter here, and you can just select what state you live in. We are licensed in all 50 states. You select the coverage amount, and then just put in the rest of your info, hit Get Quotes Now, and it will take you to a page that's going to show you all the best insurance companies and all the lowest prices in your state. So you can be an exceptionally well-educated consumer. Now, secondarily, you can call us at our toll-free number, which is right up here in the upper right, 888-862-9456, and you can talk with a real agent or just one of our people here who are dedicated to helping you get the best insurance at the lowest pricing. Now, the first thing you need to ask yourself, if you're a female age 66 looking for $5,000 worth of insurance, is $5,000 enough? And it really depends on your needs. So let's say you are going to be cremated and you're just going to come home in a cardboard box or an urn. That's going to be between $1,000 to $2,000. So, yep, $5,000, good to go. If you're going to get cremated and have some sort of a ceremony, like a remembrance of life ceremony, something like that, that's probably going to be $3,000 to $5,000, and that includes the cremation. So $5,000 would be enough for right now, anyway. So we know that, we don't know when we're going to die, right? We know that, and we're hoping it's like a long time in the future, not soon, but we just don't know if we're going to be around another 20 minutes or another 20 years. So we always encourage people, you want to get first day coverage. Don't get a 2-year waiting period plan. That's all we help people with at Funeral Funds of America is first day coverage or benefits. And if you're 66 years old and you're looking at just the cremation, come home in a cardboard box or an urn, probably $5,000 to $7,000 is okay. We discourage people from looking at, $15,000, $20,000, $30,000. Most of the times that's because those, people want that much. They want to leave some money to their kids. And the insurance can get a little bit expensive. Just most of the people we help at Funeral Funds of America are people on fixed or limited income. So we're very protective of their budgets as well, too. And then if you're looking at that cremation with some sort of a ceremony, typically that's going to be somewhere between $7,000 to $10,000. And that's pretty budget friendly for most people. But again, we don't recommend you overinsure. If you wanted to leave money for your kids in life insurance, probably should have done that at a younger age with a different product. But this burial insurance, final expense insurance is really well suited for burial, cremation, final expenses. Now, if you're going to be buried as a 66-year-old female and you are looking at a brand new $5,000 policy, that's not going to get things done. The average cost of a burial in the United States right now is right around $10,000. So you would be 50% of the way there. But that's $10,000 if you died today. You're 66, you'd probably like to make it to 76, maybe 86, right? So you want to make sure that there's some extra funds in there to allow for inflation and not just do it at today's cost. Now, $5,000 would be enough if you had, say, an existing $5,000 or $10,000 policy. Now, if you had a $10,000, that'd get you up to $15,000. You'd be in pretty good shape. If you had a $5,000 and you brought on another $5,000, that would be $10,000. You'd kind of be even, but you'd be behind. So you might want to look at a little bit more, maybe $7,500 to $10,000 or something like that. There's different ways to go, but bottom line, get what you can afford and then kind of adjust, how much you can actually want to get based off what inflation is going to do in the future. So one thing we always recommend, and I mentioned it earlier, is get first day coverage or benefits. And that's so important because none of us knows when we're going to die. And there's a lot of plans out there that are 2-year waiting period plans, and they won't pay a penny of life insurance death benefit if you die in the first 2 years of a health or medical related cause of death. So we don't recommend those first day coverage. What that means is that hypothetically, if your policy started today and you died tomorrow, the insurance company would pay. And that's really important since none of us knows the day or the time that we will die. So now with first day coverage, a lot of times people will say, I want first day coverage, but first aid coverage, I've heard it ask health questions, and I'm not in the greatest of health. To which we say, yes, they do ask health questions with first aid coverage, but that's our problem, not your problem. And the reason I say that is we work with enough different insurance companies that they all have different insurance underwriting and guidelines. So we've got a 90 to 95% average success rate when we're getting people first aid coverage or benefits. Now, the only reason you wouldn't qualify for first aid coverage is if you had a really significant health issue going on, or health issues, like maybe you had a terminal illness and you were going to, pass away in the next 12 months. Maybe you had dementia, or you were on dialysis, or you were in the hospital or in a nursing home. If that were the case, we would probably recommend you out to, or refer you out to, another insurance company. The other thing that happens is far too often is we get a phone call from somebody and they say, hey, we had a family member pass away this last week and they didn't have insurance. We don't have any money. The body's down at the funeral home. The funeral director's not going to do anything till he gets a check in his hand. Therefore, we need to get this insurance really fast so we can get a check in our hand to get a check in the funeral director's hand. And we just have to tell them that there's no insurance company in the United States that will offer this type of insurance to somebody who's already died. So it's really sad that somebody did die, number one, but they died and left this burden behind, this financial and emotional burden behind for their loved ones when they knew they were going to die. Maybe they intended to get this at some point in the future and they didn't know they were going to die. But it doesn't change the fact that now their family's scrambling and suffering financially and emotionally because they didn't take care of this. So don't be that person. Don't be that type of person. This insurance is affordable. Just get some insurance. And even if it's a smaller amount, just understand you can always add more coverage later too. So now, as I mentioned earlier, we don't recommend the 2-year waiting period plans. And Colonial Penn is just one company out there. Their $9.95 plan, that's a 2-year waiting period plan. And there's other companies out there that have 2-year waiting periods, like Mutual of Omaha, their United of Omaha product, AIG, Gerber. And there's other companies out there too. And some of these companies have done an amazing job of convincing the American public who are over age 50 that the only thing that they would qualify for is a plan with a 2-year waiting period. And to that, we just go, because we help people with first day coverage all day long. So don't fall for some of that marketing out there. Don't, be a smart consumer. Now, one thing about Colonial Penn, the $9.95 plan, is a lot of people see their commercial on TV and, I think the TV commercials are on like every 7 minutes or so, right? It seems like that way. But people, 66-year-old females will often watch that. And I have to imagine they're probably looking at that going, oh my gosh, for $9.95, I can probably get $20,000, $30,000, $40,000, even $50,000. Wow. And then they talk with somebody from Colonial Penn, or they go to the website like we've done, and a 66-year-old female for $9.95, one unit is only $1,200. And I have to tell you, I don't think that's even enough for a cremation in most parts of the country. And it doesn't really even matter because it's got a 2-year waiting period and it's not going to pay out anything in the next 2 years for any health or medical related cause of death. And in 2 years, things are going to be more expensive too. So that $1,200 is not going to buy as much. So why would you buy a $9.95 plan? It just seems kind of like, as some people would say, it seems like false hope. So with Colonial Penn, you cannot actually buy $5,000 on the nose of insurance for a 66-year-old female. And the reason is they've got these kind of wackadoodle per unit pricing. So it's going to be $1,200, and you can't buy 5,000. So we've got to go over here and adjust units up. I'm going to guess 4 units should be about 4,800 or 3,600. Oh, I was off. Holy cow. Bad math. 4,000, about $4,800. That's probably as close as you'll get to 5,000. Let's go up one more. That's going to put us over quite a bit. Oh, that's 6,000. That's way too much for what we're looking for. So that's kind of the downside of Colonial Penn. You got to kind of goof around with these numbers to get something close. Most other insurance companies, you could just say, I want $5,000, and they'd say, here's the pen, let's get you approved. Let's get you approved over the phone, whatever it is. So, but not Colonial Penn. So it's $39.80 for 4 units, which is $4,800. That's as close as we can get to $5,000. Let's see what $5,000 would cover if it were first day coverage. So here we go, 5,000. I'm going to enter this into our quoter. Female, age 66. We're going to go get quote. And again, we'll jump back here and look. And again, it's $5,000 roughly for $40 roughly. Well, with first day coverage, we could get, first day coverage for $21, $22. And if you look at the pricing here, that's $39. And again, this isn't even a full $5,000. So this is $22. So the Colonial Penn is just roughly 200% more than first day coverage. And so you're going to overpay quite a bit on that policy over the life of the policy. And Colonial Penn will give you the opportunity and the unfortunate privilege of overpaying every single month for the rest of your life. So let's take a look. This is roughly $40, roughly $20. So it's probably about a $20 difference. $2,400 more after 10 years. And again, this is level coverage, which means first day coverage. So you will save so much money by going with the first day coverage program. Now let's go down a little bit. Let's look at, and you'll be able to see all these insurance companies that we were suggesting here. And let's take a look. Here's one, Lincoln Heritage. They're a fine company, I guess. I mean, their pricing's higher, but level coverage. Now, Lincoln Heritage has a thing where if you pass away, or when you pass away, I should say, they will call 2 or 3 different funeral homes and supposedly get you the best pricing. And they'll maybe do a couple of things too, but it's not free. It's not free. They're going to charge more in premium. So this is $32. And we are right about, I think it was $22. Yeah, $22. So they're $10 more a month. That's $120 a year. After 10 years, that's $1,200. After 20 years, that's $2,400. But let's just talk 10 years. So you got to ask yourself, is it worth paying somebody $1,200 to spend like less than an hour? More than likely, I'm just guessing, but it seems like it shouldn't take more than an hour to call a couple of funeral homes and maybe do a couple other things. So, most people would say, hey, that seems like a pretty good payday for the insurance company. If you would like to kind of avoid that, what we recommend at Funeral Funds, we provide a free funeral and estate planning guide. And you just fill that out in advance and you say what goes where and who gets what and what you want done after you pass away as far as burial, cremation, any final arrangements, any other, things you own or assets or anything like that. And you fill that out and you just keep it right with your insurance policy. And that way, when you do pass away, your family has everything in order and they don't have to wonder about a thing. And they're protected financially with the insurance, but they're also protected emotionally because you took care of everything and thought enough of them in advance and cared enough of them in advance that you told them everything that you wanted to be done. And what an amazing, beautiful gift of love to do for your family. And, you can just save a lot of money versus going with some of these other companies. So when you're ready to do this, or if you just have questions or whatever, want pricing, go to our website. We've got these quoters on every page. You can call us at 888-862-9456. Talk with one of our agents. They can run the rates for you. But if you've got an existing policy and you just want to price shop it or maybe add some coverage to it, we can help you out with that. If you're looking for a brand new policy, we can get you pricing. And if you just want some help or some information or some guidance, we can help you out with that too. So we look forward to the day when we actually get to meet you or chat with you. And we'll just know that we'll be waiting for you here and you'll be in good hands. Until that day comes, you stay safe, you take care. You have a nice day. Bye-bye.